Welcome to my channel. I'm Nancy, and this is the 12 days of Bookmas in July. Day 10. We've been reviewing romance novels in Christmas themes, or in some cases Christmas book covers, for the last 10 days. Today is day 10, which is going to be Debbie Macomber's Christmas in Alaska. The book itself actually has two in it. One is Mail Order Bride and the other one is The Snow Bride. And The Snow Bride is the one that we read out of this book. The Mail Order Bride we reviewed previously on a different combo book. So if you want to see that one, that will be, I believe it was day 6. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about this one. Snow Bride, I'm just gonna read the back little blurb here. Says, usually practical Jenna Campbell impulsively heads to Alaska to marry a man she met on the internet. But on the flight to Fairbanks, she met Reed Jameson, who's determined to show her she's making a mistake. Reed changes Jenna's destination, and she finds herself at his cabin in a tiny snowbound. That leaves her stuck with Reed, a bunch of old men, and a few grizzly bears. But as she gets to know Reed, she realizes she might become a Christmas bride after all. Okay, so it doesn't really tell you a whole lot. Jenna, as it says, is a very practical person. She does something very impractical for who she is. She meets a man on the internet about a month before Christmas. She goes to Alaska to get married to Dalton. And he seems like he's everything she could possibly want. He's sweet, sensitive, gentle, romantic, all of it. And then she meets Reed, who's 100% opposite, I guess, of everything that she could think that she thinks that Dalton is. Reed is very unimpressed on her ideas to get married, and he 100% detests the guy. He's like, you should not marry him. And he actually has a good reason for it. But him taking it upon himself to change her destination and her marriage plans gets a little iffy, in my opinion. Jenna ends up with him and gets stuck in this little town where she's the only female there. There's only one other female that lives there, which is Reed's sister, and she is out of town. And so it's just her. She's been essentially kidnapped, and there's a blizzard that makes them so they're stranded. So with that, it was an okay book. I don't know. So part of the story, she is working and she has been pining for her boss for like the last few years. She's been there for 4 years. She's pining for her boss and nothing's gonna come of it, right? And some people are like, well, that's dumb. That's a long time ago. Why would you pine for that long? All of that kind of stuff, right? You know it's your boss, nothing's gonna happen. But that isn't really, you fall in love with someone, you can't really change it. So the impulse to me was her up and quitting her job. So what happens is Dalton doesn't show up at the airport, so then she needs a ride to get to his house, so she asks Reed, and then he decides he's not going to take her, and then takes her to his house instead. that makes me question like the moral of it, right? But his whole reasoning in his brain to take her was so that she could talk to his sister about him and find out why he didn't want him, why he wasn't such a good guy to marry. The book itself kind of seems like an enemies to lovers, because who's gonna fall in love with their kidnapper? But it also ends up being an interesting love triangle, but not really a triangle, more of a love square, because in the end, she's got her boss, Reed and Dalton, all trying to win her back. And so for me, that's more of a square. Then there's also a secondary love story with her mom also included in the book, which is pretty cute. I really like the phone call she had with her mom once she was able to get through, and her mom's like, "You have all these guys pining for you in Alaska? I need to come there." And I thought that was just hilariously funny. So overall, it was a really cute book. I'd say it's very predictable, but their bickering through the whole snowstorm made it really humorous. The book takes place in December, but it's more of a December book than it would be like a full-on Christmas story. So I'd say it's more of a winter theme than it was Christmas, but it does end on Christmas, so give or take. I'm getting the idea that that's all of her books are, and if you think about Hallmark movies, that's kind of how they're written as well, so all in all, works pretty well. But I would say it was a pretty good book. I'd give it a 3.5 stars. The overall, just trying to be, the book itself is just, it's funny. It made me laugh, so even though it didn't quite make what I was looking for, it is still a good book. So 3.5 stars, Debbie Macomber, Christmas in Alaska. That was day 10. So we're gonna open day 11 here and find out what we're going to be reading tonight. Add this one to the pile. Yeah, a pretty nice little stack going on. I've only got a few books left, but I'm gonna go with this one. Looks nice and small for me. Okay, so it is A Christmas Love by Kathleen Creighton. It is probably a novella by the size of it. Oh, I mean, it's 200 pages. It just doesn't look like it's 200 pages. So I'm excited to give this one a try. It is an older book. It was published in 1992, so it's probably the oldest book out of the whole pile, so you definitely have to thrift this one if it's something you want to read. So let's give this one a try and see what happens. If you like this video or you've read Snow Bride by Debbie Macomber, please leave a comment down below and give this a thumbs up. And consider subscribing to my channel for more book reviews. We're gonna do some newer books here after our series for the 12 Days of Bookmas ends. And hopefully you'll stick around. Until next time, book friends, happy reading!